Hey guys, welcome to 2020 with TheBrewPill. Hope you're having a good evening. We're starting the beer night off with one called Simpler Times. It's a lager. It's 6.2%. I found this at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. Sorry, Trader Joe's. It's really good. Tonight we're going to go over our list of movies for the last decade. So it might be a little long. But we'll drink to start this. Some Simpler Times.
Not bad.
It's pretty simple. It's like a basic domestic almost.
Yeah.
These were actually interesting because at Trader Joe's, they're like 67 cents individual. It's like $6.99 a six-pack, so it's not bad for a 6%. But I'll let you start. We're going to start in what great year? The 2010.
2010.
So we're going back a decade.
Yep.
So I challenged him pick three. You can list all three or choose one in an order, any way you want to do it.
Well, see, mine aren't in any order. I just
Okay.
picked three. There was a couple years that I picked more than three because I went through and I was like,
On my list, I'm not going to the big names like the MCU stuff because I love all the MCU movies, so it's hard for me to pick, and it's kind of unfair because I just picked that. So that's why I chose.
I see. I go ahead.
No, I chose other things that were Star Wars because I haven't seen any of the new Star Wars in the last decade. So I tried to keep out of the big properties myself.
I skipped some of. I have some MCU on here, but I skipped some. I get to a year and I go through and be like, it was good, but it's not my top three for that year. You know?
Yeah.
So, but I'll start off with my 2010 list. And again, no particular order. This is not like my number one movie, but number one I had Hot Tub Time Machine.
Still haven't seen that. I'm way behind. Have not seen Hot Tub Time Machine.
It was a very interesting concept for a movie. So, and it was, of course, a comedy.
I didn't even know it was that. It's 2010, so.
Yeah. Number two, Robin Hood with...
The new one with Taryn?
No.
Or the other one? It's not like Kevin Costner.
No.
It was with Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe. Yeah.
I've got it on DVD. Still haven't seen it.
It was pretty good. It was very... I don't want to say, like, totally accurate, but it was pretty accurate for, the time, whatever. And then, number three, I have Kick-Ass.
Oh, good movie.
I
love
love Kick-Ass. I love the movie. My only complaint about the movie is that it did not follow the comic all the way, but it would have been a very, very sad movie if they followed the comic. So
I have never got to read the comic, so do you have it?
I think I have it somewhere. I'll dig it up and read it.
Yes, so I can read. My 2010 list. I have four on here, but I'm going to stick with three, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of an order, kind of. My third one I chose was Shutter Island, which is Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo. It was a fantastic movie. Some of the best quotes. That's on my horror list that I went through in October. In October, I did a horror list through Twitter every day, and I picked that. So maybe you want to do that next year.
Yeah.
Since I've now got you on tweeting.
I'm on the Twitters, but I haven't
on the
Twittered
Twitters.
yet.
He hasn't Twittered. He went live on New Year's. You went live a little bit. My second one, I went with Inception. Christopher Nolan. I know how you felt with the last Christopher Nolan episode we did. My pick for my favorite, and I will say this for 2010, even though I didn't see it until like 2015. Great, thank you Netflix. Is a one called I Saw the Devil, which is a foreign film. Like when Parasite won this year, the director Boon Young, he made the comment of Americans would like foreign films better if you get used to reading the 1-inch dialogue on the bottom.
Yeah.
Because I love foreign films because I pay more attention because I have to pay attention.
Yeah.
So I see a lot more. I Saw the Devil's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It used to be on Netflix. If you can find it somewhere else, see it. It's a great tale of revenge, kind of, that went wrong in a way. You just have to see it. If you want a better description, listen to my podcast at 242nd, and I've got a more... When I go through that, because that was my first one of October 1st for the horror month. So, 2011.
2011, Captain America, The First Avenger, was a great movie. It was a great kickoff to me. Iron Man kicked it off, but to me it was a great kickoff to the whole they were going to stick with adding these superheroes and they were going to go forward. It was a great movie overall. The Cabin in the Woods, amazing movie.
That was on my horror list.
Yeah. And then The Help. I love that movie.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
That is a great movie. I got 2 on my 2011. One being The Darkest Hour with the oldie Gary Oldman. It's a fantastic movie about World War II. I told you, if you watch Dunkirk, you got to watch The Darkest Hour.
Okay.
Because it shows him as the Prime Minister.
Churchill.
Yeah. And he is fantastic. It's mind-blowing because you get immersed, because he gets so immersed in the role of Churchill. And then The Sunset Limited, which is Samuel Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. And it's based on a Cormac McCarthy, I think it's a play that he had going, and they made it into a movie for HBO. And it is a fantastic dialogue between 2 people, one man who wants to kill himself and the other man who wants to save him. So it gets really deep. We're drinking some Simpler Times here. Be back in a second. I'm going to put it on pause so I can get another beer, and then we'll be right back with our list for the 2012. We'll be back in there. Okay, back to our list of movies. We're going to open another beer.
Got the Bridge Rebel Double from the Destin Brewery.
Right here local.
Mm-hmm. Double IPA, 8.2%. Says it's a crafty double IPA with a hoppy nose and a deceptively smooth tongue.
I need to take you to the brewery over there in Destin because it's a pretty nice little brewery. Figured to pick up a can, and because he's never got to enjoy it. No, that's not. It's like a brown.
Yeah, it's not really. I was expecting this to end up on the Christmas tree, but
it's not.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, back to our list. We're on 2012.
Do you want to start off?
It doesn't matter to me, whichever you want to do. I can start. I've got 2 on my list. One being Looper. Looper was a fantastic movie. Rian Johnson being the director. Bruce Willis and fantastic.
It's Robin.
Yeah, I know. It's like I used to know his name. He's a freaking fantastic actor. But Looper is one of my 2 that I have for 2012. The other one being Dredd. I'm a big Dredd fan because I'm a big Carl Urban fan. But mainly is because I'm a big Judge Dredd fan. Used to read the comics when I was younger. I was sad. I was excited when Sylvester Stallone did his, but then I was sad after I saw it. So Dredd was fantastic because it was almost an Americanized version of The Raid. And if you haven't seen The Raid Redemption, you need to find that one too. What do you got for 2012?
2012 was a tough year for me. I've got 6 on my list because I was going through and I was like, it's
a tough one.
It was a tough one.
Obviously, it was a good year for you.
Yeah. Excuse me. Got Wreck-It Ralph,
which is fantastic. Funny kids movie.
Love it. Huge video game fan. So when Disney said they were making a cartoon about video games and the characters in it, I was like, yes.
And the kids
they did it great. And I was so happy when my daughter was born. And she was finally able to watch stuff and understand what was going on. And I showed it to her, and she's a huge fan of that. So, Hunger Games. I love the books. And watching that first one, it was pretty spot on to the book. So I was pretty happy about that. And we kind of got our introduction to what's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes. He's been in a bunch of stuff since then. But
fantastic actress.
Yes. Chronicle.
Chronicle is a great underrated film.
Yes. What I loved about that film, it was a good film, but what I
think
really
you got me
to
see the Chronicle. I think.
Yeah, it's. It was a first person from a camcorder perspective, like a found footage film, but they flipped it towards the end because characters start developing these superpowers, and one of them has telekinesis, and he started using holding the camera with telekinesis, so it went from that found footage to almost like a normal film because the camera moved away and you were able to see him. Ted, love Seth MacFarlane. He's awesome, and I love Ted, and of course Mark's in there. So
Mark Wahlberg, can't go wrong with Mark Wahlberg.
yeah, and then I had the Avengers on here because again they followed through. They actually did what they said they were going to do, and then Dark Knight Rises. Heath Ledger as Joker is amazing.
Rises was Dark Knight. It was Heath Ledger. Dark Knight Rises was Bane. Catwoman and Bane. Yeah, Rises is it's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and then Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, well, guess I was wrong. My bad. Mark that off the list.
But Anne Hathaway was a fan. I liked her as Catwoman myself.
I wish they would quit using Catwoman, honestly. There's so many other characters they could use.
Yeah, he's got like the biggest bad guy. Him and Flash have some of the biggest nemesis, and they use the same ones every time.
And the same with Superman. They use Lex Luthor every time, and he's got other villains.
Brainiac. I want to see Brainiac in a movie because in Krypton, Brainiac is amazing.
Yeah.
Have you seen Krypton?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You've seen Krypton. It's canceled. You can catch up.
Okay. So yeah, but
that was 2012.
Yeah. Side note on the whole Batman thing.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that. What's his name? I believe he's Australian. He was in Daredevil. His Bullseye.
Colin Farrell.
Yes, he has been cast to be the Penguin in the Batman. So I'm actually kind of interested in see where they take that.
Okay. Grab your drink, keep drinking. You gonna want to go to 2013, or you want me to?
Sure, go ahead.
2013. Two movies that really surprised me. One being The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I almost put that down, but
It's a fan. You've seen it, obviously. Ben Stiller. His movies make you laugh, but this movie was fantastic. I mean, I didn't think I would like it. I went in here thinking, oh, it's going to be a typical Ben Stiller movie.
Yeah.
And it is an amazing movie.
The movie actually makes you kind of look at your life, too, because he's on this kind of adventure to see,
out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and it's like, what am I doing,
My other one is Rush with Hemsworth in it. And it's an F1 movie about Formula One directed by Ron Howard.
Didn't see that.
It's an awesome movie. It's back in the 60s, and they make it look like it was the duel of F1 cars. Hemsworth was playing the British guy who, I think it was one or two seasons in F1. He was an up-and-comer, and then he was out. I'd have to look that up to know facts. And the guy who played opposite of him, who played Alan Prost, they played off each other so fantastic. It's an intense movie with great racing scenes, and that's why I put Rush on my list.
My 2013, I have Man of Steel. It's a great Superman movie. We're the Millers. That was great comedy. Have you seen that?
I've seen it.
Okay.
It made me laugh.
I liked it. It was.
We're all different. Our lists. That's what makes lists like this.
And then Star Trek Into Darkness. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, that's
as
fantastic.
Khan. So
Benedict is awesome and everything. Yes. But we're gonna open a beer in a second, and we'll get back to 2014. All right, we are back. Sorry for the minimum. We're on 2014. We're opening another beer. This is Mad Manatee. It's from Bold City Brewery. This is another Jacksonville, Florida. Local is an IPA. Trying to find a quick. I don't see a percentage. It'll show up when I put it on to the one, the only Untapped. If you get Untapped app. But it's an IPA, so let's see if it's Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
From Spencer. Spencer's gonna say it's rather chewable. It's not bad to me, but I've had a couple more than you today, I think.
I had one before I came over.
Cheers. I had one. What'd you have at Cheers?
The Sour Monkey.
Sour Monkey?
Yeah.
My friend Jonathan just reviewed that on his YouTube channel. And he really liked it. He gave it a thumbs up.
I love sours, man. They're amazing.
So what you got for 2014?
24. Go. 2014, I have Lucy.
Lucy, good movie.
Good movie.
Who is that who played Lucy?
Black Widow.
Was it ScarJo?
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
Fantastic actress.
Next, I have Kingsman, Secret Service.
Kingsman, great movie.
Still waiting for The King's Man.
The King's Man.
Where is it? And then Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, all good films, all good films. Especially Guardians.
Yes.
One of my son's favorites. I start with Big Hero 6. Love it. That's I think the only movie in the last 30 years that I've watched more than twice. I've watched it nine times. That was, I think, my son's third movie that he ever watched, and he had to watch it like every week. He loves Big Hero 6, so I love Big Hero 6. Fantastic, futuristic Disney film. Not their typical stuff, and that's what I like about it. The Theory of Everything.
Haven't seen that. I was told to watch it, but I haven't seen it.
The Theory of Everything's an amazing story of what's his
Stephen
name?
Hawking.
Stephen Hawking, and it's got I'm trying to think of the actor who plays Stephen Hawking. But it shows you his, whole. You have to see it because to me it's almost religious in a way, because it's him trying to prove the existence of God, and then it's his life story, and then disprove it, and all this, and it's an amazing story. And then my favorite, I have to go from my favorite of 2014 was The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, because he's awesome.
Doesn't he play touring in that?
Is that the one? I don't know. I can't remember the name, but I know he was during World War II, and he did that machine that decoded.
Well, yeah.
Was that Alan Turing?
Yeah. Sad story of a man.
Yes. It's a brilliant movie, and it brings a lot of things to light. That we need to be better human beings to each other.
Yeah.
But
his theory is that if he hadn't killed himself, we'd probably have more advanced computers than we have now. So
yeah.
Good job, humanity.
Yeah. That's the problem with humanity right there. On to 2015.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I was enjoying the beer.
Has it got better to you?
It has, actually. I only had 2 this year. Jurassic World. I liked it. It was a, what's the word they're using now? Reboot. But it
wasn't a really
it
good.
Was
the next chapter.
It was the next chapter, but they were all new characters, We have to make a new dinosaur. But it was still a good movie.
It's all bringing dinosaurs back is still such a great idea.
Yes. And then The Martian.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I loved that movie.
That's a great
That's
movie.
got some great quotable lines from that. So.
And Matt Damon's fantastic as ever. I have 2. Inside Out.
Haven't seen that one.
Pixar. It's fantastic. We've got it. You can borrow it. Seen it a couple times. Watched it with our son, and he got to see it twice in 2 weeks. He falls in love with movies, and I've always wondered if he pays attention to movies. And this movie takes you on such a journey because it's inside a young girl going through everything. It's all the inside emotions, inside her brain. And they go to, I'll try not to spoil it, but they go to, everyone has an imaginary friend. I never had an imaginary friend, but I guess everyone has an imaginary friend. And the imaginary, she's dealing with this, and there's a really sad moment in it, and I'm tearing up, because it's emotional, and me and my wife look at him, and he's got tears just coming out. It's like he's really paying attention. It got him, what I'm saying? And when a movie can do that to you, that's why I love the movie Up. But we're talking about Inside Out. And my other one, of course, the one, the only Mad Max Fury Road. I love that movie. That is a movie
I've seen it.
See, you've missed 2015. The most fantastic movie in the top 10 of my ever movies, because it's just fantastic journeying back into the world of Max. I don't know if you watched the original trilogy.
I've seen, I think, 2 and 3, but I've never seen 1.
And that George Miller is the director of this, and he just, the amazing thing is he didn't have an editor to edit the film, so he asked his wife. And so his wife never edited a movie before, edited this movie. This movie is incredible. You know,
Cool.
so incredible movie. We ready to go to 2016?
Yeah, we can do 2016 real quick. I still have a little bit left in this one.
Okay.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Fantastic movie.
Love that. John Goodman.
Yes.
Underrated actor. Completely. The next one, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I believe that is the greatest Star Wars movie ever made. I mean, you can't have it without having the other movies, but it was amazing. I loved it.
I still haven't seen it.
It's not to spoil anything.
No,
but
it's okay.
It's a dark. You know, most of them are because they're dealing with the light side and the dark side, you know, good and evil. But this one is a dark movie because they are, you know, the rebellion in its infancy, and
Now, you already know what's going to happen in
Yes.
A New Hope.
but it's like, you know, you get to see the story of these people that, you know, they go on basically a suicide mission to make sure that the Rebel Alliance can carry on. You know, Captain America: Civil War.
I'm surprised you did not put Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier is my favorite of the Captain
I was
Americas.
not a fan of Winter Soldier.
You're anti-American.
Just, I wasn't. I like Civil War. To me, it was one of the top Avengers movies, even though it's a Captain America movie. And then I have Hidden Figures.
Oh,
Love.
great movie.
Yes.
Great movie. And it's great, like, when they have movies like that who bring out something that you didn't know. So you watch it, you learn something. You're
Yeah.
like, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I have two movies, The Nice Guys, because it's Gosling and Russell Crowe. Fantastic movie. It's hilarious and intense, and it hits on the right notes. And then Kubo and the Two Strings.
I haven't seen that.
I think it's still on Netflix. It's an incredible animation. The way they do it, the way the story is told.
Isn't it stop motion?
Kind of, but you have to watch it to really
Okay.
pay attention.
Okay.
I don't know if it's stop motion or imitation stop motion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's a hard thing with nowadays with technology and CGI. It's like the Wallace and Gromit movies. And when
Yeah.
you see behind the scene, you're like, wow, that just doesn't look like it's real, but it is.
Yeah. I was actually having a discussion with my coworker about that the other day. We were talking about, you know, practical effects versus, you know, computer effects, and we were talking about, you know, how if somebody knows what they're doing, practical effects are far greater than
Oh,
computer.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause,
The depth of it, the
yeah.
actual depth of the effect.
which, if you've been watching The Mandalorian, you know.
If you watch this show, this is all practical effects.
It is.
We practice
Simon's a
hand
giant
me.
puppet.
Yes. I'm really a really short person. I'm standing on 3 buckets. We'll be back with 2017.
Did you get your 2016 out?
Right, and yeah, I just did 2016. But we're on to another beer in 2017.
You want to start off?
The one what we're drinking,
Oh,
2017.
We've got Weyerbacher Easton Brown and Down. It is a 5.6% by volume.
I like
Yeah.
the name because it's like Eastbound and Down almost. It's a dark one. (2017). Oh, that's definitely a brown.
Yeah.
I got 2 movies. I've got Split with a great James McAvoy.
Oh.
Multiple personalities that led to Glass, which I still haven't seen. Glass, I've got it on the DVR. But fantastic movie. Shows out how good James McAvoy is. And Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, war, fantastic film. Love Dunkirk. I've talked about it out in the Christopher Nolan. So 2 of his films are in my decade of movies. What do you got for 2017?
2017 for me was a year of superheroes. Thor Ragnarok. Best
Tiki
of the Thor.
Waititi.
Yes. That dude, he's a genius.
Yeah.
Next is Wonder Woman. Like I had before, I had Man of Steel in 13. Batman v Superman was... but Wonder Woman kind of picked it back up and...
Carried it.
Yeah, the whole damn thing. She carried the whole damn thing. Next was Logan. That was a great superhero movie.
I just bought it finally this year.
Have you seen it?
No. It's in the collection of things I gotta see.
Dude,
That's what everyone says.
It's by far, to me, one of the greatest superhero films ever made. A really good exit for Hugh Jackman. And then after that, I've got Get Out.
Get Out!
Great movie. Was introduced by Peele.
I think so.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele of Key and Peele. Didn't know until I saw this movie. Basically, he does comedy to pay for his horror movie ideas because the man is apparently a horror movie genius. Sorry. But great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
That's your 2017.
Yes, it is.
We're drinking our Eastbound and Down or something. 2018. I think we can both put this on our list. Cross it out. Not cross it out, but Spider-Verse.
I actually have not watched that.
What planet are you
I
on?
don't know
I know
what's
your
on
kids
there.
have seen it.
I know they have, which disappointed me because I was going to sit down, we were going to have a family movie night, and we were going to watch it, and my son was like, yeah, watch that new Spider-Man movie, because I got Netflix upstairs, and I was like...
Well, anyway, you need to watch it. It's 2018. I thought he would be sure on one that we're sharing. I've got one that... I don't know, it's called Love, Simon. And not because my name's Simon. It's a really good movie. It's a heartfelt movie about coming out, and it's an emotional one, and how people have to deal with a lot of things that other people never even think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then I've got Christopher Robin, which was fantastic. It's a totally different version of Winnie the Pooh. You know what I'm saying? How it was created. You need to see it. Christopher Robin is up there. And Ready Player One, which I just saw a couple weeks ago. It's 2018. Ready Player One's fantastic.
That's actually on my list. That's actually the first one on my list.
Okay, so share it with Ready Player One.
Yeah. So I'll skip that one. After that, I've got Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I have some people who thought it was disappointing.
I liked it.
I liked it myself.
Yeah.
I just didn't put it on my list for my top films.
Like I said, Disney did a video game movie. They made a sequel to it. It was pretty good. What kind of captured it for me was, like I said, video game movie. I'm into video games. I got my daughter to watch it, and in this one they have this lounge room that Vanellope, she breaks into, and it's got all the princesses in it. And I was like, "This is us. This is our like together moment,"
Yeah.
So, and then they had to come out with the Lazy Princess collection at Walmart. Thanks, Walmart. After that, I've got Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
So it's on my DVR. I haven't watched it yet.
They left it open for a third one.
They were making a third one. They're bringing everybody back now.
It's going to be interesting. I won't spoil it for you, but it's going to be interesting. Avengers: Infinity War.
Of course. I just didn't put it on my list because I don't pick the big ones.
Yeah. A Quiet Place.
I still have to see that.
We put it off and put it off. So my wife doesn't like horror movies, and eventually I was just like, when I'm turning it on, we're watching it, and she was like, "What is this?" And then after it was over,
You
she
saw
was
that
like,
they just had the previous part 2 coming out, right?
Yeah.
You've seen that.
Yeah. And she's into it now, so she's like, "Are we going to see it? Are we waiting? Are we going?" I'm like, "Okay, well, apparently you liked it." Black Panther. That was a good superhero movie. I liked it.
It's a fantastic
It
movie.
is. It's
all the Marvel movies are fantastic. I just didn't put them on my list.
yeah.
We're going to have to reset in a second. Was that your last for 2018?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll be back. Okay, we got a minute 55 to talk about 2019, the last year on our decade.
You want me to start?
It's up to you. You can start.
I'll start.
See how quickly we can do this.
2019, I gotta say, I went through the movies and I was kind of disappointed.
There's a lot of stuff you haven't seen, I'm sure.
Probably, but...
Of course, Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame's on there. And then I put Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
I liked that. When we saw it at your house, I actually really liked it.
That actually, it surprised me because, Pokemon's been out for a while. They did their movies, which were animated before, and they tried out the whole live action, and they pulled it off. They did a good job.
Until you lose your red box.
Yes.
rental.
Yes, I am banned from renting Redbox because I have lost 2 DVDs, and apparently Redbox DVDs are premium, gold-plated platinum discs that require $35 to replace.
I've got Wonder Park, That was one I didn't know I would like. I didn't want to see it. They got from the library. I didn't know what it was about except for this kid with his her imagination. It is a really touching story.
Okay.
It is well worth seeing. Wonder Park is a lot better than I imagined it could be.
Okay. That was one of those movies that I was kind of like, eh.
I was like,
Yeah.
They brought it home from the library. I was like, that's free. We'll put it in, and you get really invested. And Rocket Man, my friends at Spit Roast Podcast, this is on their list. At Cup of Rad, Rocket Man. I watched Rocket Man because of Cup of Rad. It's an incredible story of Elton John. If you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody,
I haven't, and I am ashamed of myself because Queen is my favorite band. So
see Rocket Man as well.
Okay.
Because Rocket Man is fantasy and fairy tale and it's beautiful. And it fit. Bohemian's great, but it'd be different if Freddie was alive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference.